Hi friends, I am going to wrap up April reading. I will say I'm sorry on the forefront. Still moving things around and trying to figure out where best to put the lights. I don't have an overhead light in my living room, but that's where all the books are, the happy books. I am still having maintenance things done at the house, and it might get loud in a minute. Doing the microphone, hoping that continues to work. Also, the neighbors put their dog out just as I started filming, and the dog likes to bark a little bit, so we'll preface this video with that. To start off with, I did read 6 books. Did I read 6 or 5? I read 5 books. I read 6 books. One I can't tell you about at all. 2 of them, I cannot tell you what I thought of them until the BookTube Prize judging is over. And we'll do those real fast. I read The Dream Hotel by Layla Lalami. This is for the BookTube Prize. And then I also read for the BookTube Prize Bad Bad Girl by Gish Jen. So I will, at the end of May, post my reviews of all of the BookTube Prize books that I read for this round. So the books I can tell you about, I read Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. I did this during a reading vlog, so I will link that below for my thoughts. So I gave this 3 stars. I didn't love it. I don't know, didn't like the characters, which I don't always need to like the characters, but the storyline in itself was okay. I did kind of like the device that the author used of kind of introducing us to the end of the story of the courtroom, and trying to figure out what crime was committed and by who. I did enjoy that. I feel like I've read it before like that, a novel like that before. I can't remember if I liked it before, but I did like it here. I think my favorite character was probably the little boy. And the friend. Who was the friend? The sister-in-law to the main character. But yeah, it was fine. I know it got a lot of hype and a lot of people loved it. It was okay for me. And then I also finally finished Why We Can't Sleep, Women's New Midlife Crisis by Ada Calhoun. This is about women in midlife and just the various changes that we go through with our body, with our family life, with our community life, where we are with our career, and what all society messages tell us that we need to be or do or think, or yeah. So I liked it. I could relate to a lot of it. There was some of it I couldn't necessarily relate to, the empty nest syndrome and things like that, but I could see that for my friends and for my family members who had kids. And then the, chapters on divorce and things like that, I found relatable from an outsider point of view. Never been married, never been divorced. So yeah, I think it's a great read for early midlife. I'm kind of midlife, I guess. When is your midlife? Like 40 to 60 maybe? I don't know. But I'm kind of, beginning to middle stages of midlife. And I think this is a great resource. And Ada Calhoun's a great writer. I did give this, I'm looking at my book journal, I gave this 4 stars. And then I finished the month up with The Blue Castle by L.M. Montgomery. This was my booktube book for Krista at Books and Jams, her Patreon group. I didn't finish it in time for the book discussion. I'm hoping they recorded it so I can watch it back. This is about, okay, so first of all, L.M. Montgomery wrote Anne of Green Gables series. I love Anne of Green Gables series. Read it as a child, or I watched the movies as a child and read the books more in adulthood. But I loved the books more so once I read the books. I liked the books more than the movie. And this is L.M. Montgomery's adult novel, I believe. It's about Valencia Sterling, who's 29 years old, not married, in a time when, you know, everyone around her was married by then and having kids, and she had no boyfriends, no prospects, no career. She really wasn't allowed to or encouraged to work outside the home. And her mom, who's a widow, is very controlling. And Valencia starts to feel some unwell symptoms and sees a doctor, ends up finding out or is diagnosed with a terminal condition, and she decides that since she's going to die, she's going to live her life the way she wants to, and that means telling everybody what's really on her mind and doing things that, you know, sweet little quiet Valencia would not have done. So we kind of follow that. I liked it. I didn't love it like many people do. I kind of just felt like it was predictable and unremarkable. Really just, yeah, nothing like Anne. Not comparable to Anne in any way. From a writing standpoint, I felt like, and you know, Anne was a series, and L.M. Montgomery was able to grow Anne's character into more depth across the series. I didn't like Valencia. I just didn't like Valencia. And obviously, the way that she was treated was pretty horrible, and pretty horrible people in this book. But yeah, I expected to like it a little bit more because it is L.M. Montgomery. And it was a 3-star book for me. It was okay. I'm glad I read it. While I didn't love this book, I'm not going to write off L.M. Montgomery. Like I said, she wrote one of my favorite characters of all time. I may go back and revisit Anne of Green Gables. That's kind of what it made me want to do, is to go back to works by L.M. Montgomery I know I really like. Yeah, so 3 stars. It was okay. I'm kind of curious to see what my book club thought of it. But that's it. That's what I read in this month. I was doing a lot of audiobooks and just not reading that much. But over the last year, it seems like 6 books. And like I said, I did read 6. I can't tell you about them all. But yeah, reading about 6 books a month is kind of my happy spot. It's kind of where I'm at. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite book of April? Have you read any of these books? What did you think of them? If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.